Ian Johnson was an employee of Harvard Law School's IT department for nearly 10 years. He started on the help desk despite working in higher level positions in IT departments throughout the Boston area. Very early on in his employment, he was subject to a discriminatory lack of fair hiring and advancement practices that saw younger and less experienced colleagues, who were white, promoted past him and other black technicians with frightening regularity. During his tenure at Harvard, Ian was overseen by supervisors whose management style was characterized by abhorrent racist censure, projection, cronyism, harassment, and retaliation. With the full knowledge of the IT leadership, these managers would proceed to leverage blatantly discriminatory evaluations against the department's black and other technicians of color. One by one, they were singled out, accused of not contributing their fair share of work, denigrated, vilified, and shunned until they either left the department or were fired outright. Ian would have meetings with 4 different representatives of the HR department over a period of years to air out a litany of legitimate grievances, none of which would be noted in his employee file or entered into any formal record. The help desk manager, CIO, and the director of IT services told Ian on more than one occasion that he didn't belong there, that Harvard Law School wasn't the place for him, that he lacked critical thinking skills to advance to higher level positions he was more than qualified for and applied to. They also alleged that he was unapproachable and had a chip on his shoulder. Ian continued to raise concerns with administrators and document the things that were being done to him and others, and with an array of witnesses among staff, faculty, and even students to corroborate these grievances. In 2010, he was placed in a dead-end position and charged with the task of supporting the school's 1,600 JD, SJD, and LLM students with day-to-day hardware and software problems. To add insult to injury, neither the title nor commensurate pay came with the role, and he had to petition fervently for both, despite his predecessor in the same position never having to do so. The role was given no support from IT management. Despite this, he was able to render exemplary service to students as well as the school's prominent faculty and staff for a number of years. During these years, Ian managed to move into a technical support analyst role where he would more directly support the school's faculty and staff. He developed a rapport with his customers that lent itself to expedient resolution of their issues and often problems that would stymie his colleagues. He would also vouch tirelessly for the advancement of his Northeastern co-op colleagues, providing mentorship and personally writing letters of recommendation that were instrumental in them securing their first jobs after graduation, or grad programs for their continuing education. But the discriminatory treatment continued, to the point where Ian asked the HR department to initiate an investigation. News of this investigation resulted in swift and decisive retaliation. Ian was placed on a performance improvement plan when he did not cease to notify administrators outside of the department of the discrimination occurring. He was given unfair ticket quotas that his white peers were never held to. His co-workers were told not to speak to him, despite clear evidence that things were not right in the department. He was taken off projects that his institutional knowledge was integral to. All of these punitive measures were part of the retaliation against him. When the investigation concluded 1 year later and gave unambiguous veracity to the complaints he'd been making for years, Ian was unlawfully terminated the following week, and 4 months shy of a 10-year milestone that would have seen his employee benefits increase. He was denied the ability to apply for unemployment while between jobs because of how he was released. His union did very little to stave off or reverse his illegal termination, despite the fact that the law school's IT management absolutely did not adhere to any of the mandates set forth in the union manual concerning such matters. He was forced to liquidate his retirement savings in order to make ends meet. He had to pay out of pocket for therapy to address the post-traumatic stress brought on by the constant gaslighting, microaggressions, discrimination, and outright retaliation he experienced during his time at Harvard Law School. He accrued substantive credit card debt in his efforts to support himself and his family due to the needless and unexpected hardship brought on by the bad actors mentioned above. But he has not given up. He has taken steps to secure legal representation to correct this atrocity. And make no mistake, he had availed himself of every single arbitrative and mediative remedy that, of course, Harvard Law School prescribed, to the exclusion of all other solutions. After almost 10 years of hard work and excellent service, he has nothing to show for his contributions to the IT department of the country's top law school. Though he won't ask for it, he absolutely needs help. He has given considerable time, energy, and sacrifice in the service of others. With your support and compassion, he too can be assisted in his time of need. So please donate if you are able. Get the word out and share his story everywhere. Please help Ian fight employer retaliation and illegal termination. Thank you.